Good afternoon and welcome to HTV News. I'm Blair Caldwell.
And I am Justin White. Our top story this week has created some buzz on campus. Administration is discussing a dress code for campus active next school year. HTV's Brianna Santiago has the story.
Students will experience an extreme culture shock this fall when HU implements the new dress code. Starting in fall of 2014, students will no longer be able to wear sweatpants or yoga pants to classes. Campus pastor Arthur Wilson told me that the school has been deliberating the new dress code for several months, and they are now ready to enforce it.
One of the glaring issues within our community is dress code. Many of our students are attending classes wearing sweatpants or yoga pants and things of that nature, which we've decided is a reflection of a lazy attitude. And in the Bible, it teaches us that laziness is not a correlation to one's relationship with God. And so from a theological perspective, we felt like students wearing such attire in our community, especially in the classroom, should be prohibited because we want to reflect what God wants.
First-time offenders will receive a school-issued wool gown to wear for the remainder of class. Second- and third-time offenders will receive a fine up to $300, and fourth-time offenders will be reviewed for possible suspension.
Other schools such as Olivet and Bob Jones University already follow similar policies. I spoke with Dr. Emberton, and she told me she believes those schools are on point and that it is important for students to dress professionally in order to prepare them for the work field. The school does not seem to be worried about the new dress code affecting the number of incoming students. The real question is, how will it affect the students that are already here? I spoke with several current students about the issue, and this is what they said.
I think it's just unnecessary. Like, why can't we be comfortable in class?
It was the first day I wore real pants in like a month. Yeah, it didn't even last the whole day.
I think it's a pretty big problem.
We should be focused on studies instead of what we're wearing to class.
Teach us to be adults here, and we're about to go in the real world, and then they give us a dress code.
The new dress code will be included in the revised Community Life Agreement, which will be implemented in fall of 2014. For HTV News, I'm Brianna Santiago.
Football has always been a lofty dream for Huntington, but with Kmart's closing, it seems like the dream is quickly becoming a reality. HU has purchased the old Kmart's property and will use it to build a new football arena. Administration believes that adding football will bring an additional 100 students in its first year alone, let alone the amount of money the program will bring to Huntington. Heather Barkley, Director of Communications, says that since Dr. Emberton is from Texas, she has been pushing for the start of a football team.
When Dr. Emberton first came to Huntington University, she comes from Texas, which is a football state. So when she found out we did not have a football program, that became one of her goals, to start a football program at Huntington. So she was excited about the possibility. And then when the Kmart ended up announcing that it was closing down, she saw that as a chance to pick up some land that we could potentially put a football stadium on.
These changes will take some time, but administration believes that the Football Foresters team will kick off in 2017.
So another new major is coming to Huntington next year, and it's sure to be a success. Marital Relationship Studies is a major for students to help them prepare for marriage. It will also teach them how to handle pressures that will come with a committed relationship. Faculty has already approved these proposed MRS degree. Classes will include conflict resolution, child rearing, and even sex for Christians. The major will fall under social science branch and is open to both male and female students. Dr. Mary Ruthie, professor of sociology, says she thinks it will be a major that is a big hit and something HU is missing.
We've seen so many people in the Christian community who've gotten married and maybe in the long run haven't been happy and have ended up breaking up. So we want to really prepare people to get married and stay married for life and be really happy. And again, pick your mate early while you're at Huntington University, while you're surrounded by other Christians. I think that's kind of the focus of the major.
Marital Relationship Studies will begin next fall, and it's open to current students as well as incoming freshmen.
Administration decided to install hidden cameras in the prayer rooms across campus. Over Christmas break, HU chose to install the cameras because of so many student complaints. However, the cameras went undetected for nearly 3 months. The system aims to restore the intended purpose of the prayer rooms and prevent the misuse. The cameras produce a live feed through a company that offers their surveillance to many other Christian universities. Jesse Brown spoke up about why the cameras were unannounced until now.
Whatever we can do to catch students doing things wrong, we're game for. Like that's the goal here, is to catch people doing things that they ought not to be doing. We thought about replacing all of those dome lights around campus, the globe ones. They're all wired. We've already had them wired for security cameras.
Brown admitted that the plans for how they will use the footage isn't clear yet, but he does think it will make the HU community stronger. You can view the live feed at prayermonitor.com/Huntington.
Sodexo made a new agreement this past week to use a brand new cup of coffee in place of the traditional Sodexo roast. We got samples of that coffee and brewed it and asked students to compare the new coffee to what is offered in the dining commons now. So let's take a look at what students thought of the new blend.
Yeah, I think it's not as bitter.
Not as bitter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I don't like bitter, so.
I don't like bitter either. So would you say this is definitely better than that one?
I would say so. It's more mild. Yeah, I can tell it's a little sweeter, yeah.
I can barely taste the difference in this one.
Okay.
But it almost tastes like it's sweeter. Maybe the old one tasted a little bit more burnt. I don't know.
I mean, this one tastes a little bit stronger, I guess, which is nice. I don't know. I feel like the coffee they make this year is really weak anyway. So like this tastes not like it usually does, but this is pretty good.
The new stuff, it's, I don't know, maybe a little bit smoother, but still has a little bit more coffee taste to it. There wasn't a huge difference, but there was a subtle difference, but I can't put my hair. Can I try it again? Just to...
Yeah.
I would say it's a little bit sweeter.
A little bit better. I have a very fine taste of coffee, so it's harder for me. But that tastes pretty good. Better? Yes, it's better.
I think it has more of a, it's not as bitter. I can tell it has a little bit of sweeter. I drink with a lot of creamer, so I mean, well, not a lot, but I mean.
Are you not used to black?
Yeah, I'm not used to just straight up black coffee, so that could be a problem.
Yeah, a little bit. The other one, this one kind of had a bad aftertaste, the old stuff. The new stuff just kept me wanting to come back for some more, like 3 or 4 more cups.
Well, you know, Justin, to be really honest, I've looked at the weather this weekend, and I think people are going to want some coffee because it's going to get pretty cold here. So let's take a look at your weekend weather and kind of see what we got going on this weekend. So on Friday, it's going to be a high of 17, a low of 6 degrees, really, really cold, and they say about 7 inches of snow on Friday. But no worries, because Saturday it is all going to melt right away, a high of 68, low of 66. So definitely look for it to be about 60-ish, mid-high 60s there. So really warm on Saturday. Sunday, though, we've got some wind, a really strong wind gust, about 45 miles per hour, a high of 41, a low of 34. So cold, but hold on your jacket because it might fly away. So
yeah, it's looking. There's a whole bunch of roller coaster looking weather here this weekend.
I know, Indiana weather, get us out of it, right?
Indiana weather, though.
I know, right?
Man.
It'll get ya.
Well, that's all we have for you this installment of HTV. Make sure you check out our website, htvnews.net, and follow us on Twitter at HTVnews.
As always, thanks for watching, your source for all your campus and local news headlines. Have a great day. We're getting some breaking news right now from the newsroom.
Of what?
It sounds like all the stories we covered were fake. Nothing was accurate and everything was a joke.
So, I hope we got you pretty good. Happy April Fool's Day.